What's up, guys? We are going to do a replay day today. I don't know if you can tell, but I've been pretty sick the last week, so if my voice sounds funny or something like that, that would be why. I haven't actually logged in all that much because, again, I've been sick, so I haven't really been playing. But surprisingly, this castle went positive. I was not expecting that at all, for it to be positive crowns when I logged in again. So we're going to watch a couple of replays. I guess at first we can just go over the defense in case anybody hasn't seen the final product or wants to see the final product again. This castle is not very good in my opinion, but for some reason it did go positive. I don't know. Take from it what you will. I think it might have gotten a little bit lucky, but at the same point there are some good things that you can take away from this castle, and I learned quite a bit when I was building it. Mainly how good corrosive mines actually are. Just in general, like the whole green puddle thing was kind of trolly and it wasn't really a good build, but I mean it can kill people. It uses up quite a few potions, as you'll see in some replays. I watched through a couple of replays beforehand just to make sure I had a few good ones. So there are some things that you can take away from that. The Jimbo Room is the MVP probably. I think that gets the majority of my kills. So again, that's a good thing. Like, this Jimbo Room does actually work even though there's no traps inside of it. The boss room is terrible. This room is pretty terrible. I don't think I mean, there's some kills here, there's some tombstones, but I think it's because like level 20s and stuff like that went through my castle. So yeah, just looting things because I haven't looted my mines since then. All right, so basically it's this this setup that I had built for, you know, it took me a while to build this up, but just kind of surrounded some corrosive mine traps in bear traps, and that added I guess the lowered armor really makes a big difference when you're taking damage from ballistas and you're taking damage from bear traps. So basically you get stuck in there and you can't get out. The corrosive mines themselves do quite a bit of damage as well. And then the Jimbo Room, it's just double Jimbo. They're close enough so that they can both hit someone if they get flung into this area, and then you get silenced on top of it. It's just a really small room to deal with a Jimbo in. This room I was trying to make something that would do a little bit of sustained damage and possibly kill someone with like a bear trapping archer and then slowing them down and hitting them with 2 smelly warriors. I don't think it ever works out though. I don't think it ever really even uses a potion. And then the boss room is pretty much the essential boss room, but the entrance to it is just too weak. Like, it's too easy to kite this outside of the boss room. Too easy to, I don't know, just deal with it in different ways. So yeah, let's jump into a couple replays. This probably won't be the longest replay video just because I do have a sore throat, so it's kind of difficult to talk for long periods of time. So we'll jump into this first replay. I believe this first replay here, this win, is that first room getting a kill. It only gets maybe 2 kills, and then it uses up a few potions on top of that out of all of the replays that I watched. But you can see from the low timer he's going to end up dying to that. And I think it works just about the way I want it to. The way it's designed, you know. He gets thrown, he gets kind of stuck in the middle, and he can't get out. He basically is trying to run away, he gets silenced so he can't use his escape, and ends up just dying from that. So that's exactly how that's supposed to work. Let's watch this second replay. If you are able to dodge these zones, this castle is very bad. That's just something that I will say. Like, if you are going to try to copy this castle is because I like fun replays. Like, I like the fact that green puddle kills people. I like seeing people get thrown into the Jimbo Room and absolutely slaughtered. But if people kite this properly and actually go through it, they can easily do this with using no potions whatsoever. So just keep that in mind. So here's a situation where this room doesn't kill someone, but it does use a potion. So in a way, it could be used in a sustained damage castle. I think you could also take a few points out of this and still make it just as effective as it is. I'm sure you could get away with like taking a few of these corrosive mines out, maybe 1 or 2 ballistas as well, and have a few less points and a few more points to use in the rest of your castle. Alright, so it looks like this guy's probably going to die to the Jimbo Room. I did add in a couple spike traps just to make the castle feel a little less empty and a little less forgiving to people who kite, but it's still pretty easy to kite through the castle. Like, there's no traps up in here. It's definitely not a sustained damage castle whatsoever. It's really designed to kill someone, or it's going to be easy. So there you can see, they both hit and they just kill someone instantly. So that worked out pretty much exactly the way I wanted it to as well. We'll watch a couple losses as well, but let's see. We'll watch the first one of Space Tits. What he says here is very, very true, though. If you know what the traps are and you kite properly, this castle is extremely easy, and you can have all 4 pots left and still more than half health. Like, it's definitely doable. So keep that in mind. I was planning on actually rebuilding this castle a lot sooner than I'm probably going to end up rebuilding it, just because I got sick. But I was planning on rebuilding this castle pretty quickly after I actually built it. I think I spent a lot of time trying to build this this corrosive mine room, just because I found out that they were so awesome, and so I spent a lot of time doing that, and I kind of ran out of time of actually, concentrating on building rooms and stuff like that. So I threw things together. I think after the Jumbo room and after this room, I kind of threw everything together. So you can see this still does pretty well. He actually uses a potion and almost dies to it, so that's 2 potions for this room, which is quite good. But it's also very easy to kite it once you know. I might even watch his second replay, even though I haven't watched it beforehand, but I'm guessing since he uses no potions, he probably kites it properly. And you can see how easy the castle is when kited properly. And I'll probably rebuild it sometime next week. I don't think I'll do it as a live stream or anything like that. I don't really have the time next week to do that. Especially if I'm not feeling well, I don't want to do a long, like, 3-hour live stream, so. But at some point I think I will do a second one. Alright, looks like he ends up dying here. He ends up probably reviving and seeing the entire castle. So you can see these Jimbos are pretty much the MVPs of this. But yeah, it seemed like you guys liked the live stream at least somewhat. The people that were there during it enjoyed it quite a bit. Obviously, the YouTube VODs are a little bit of a different experience because you don't have the chat and stuff like that, so a lot of the time you don't know what exactly we're talking about, but it seemed like it was well received, so I might do another one of those and have somebody else on. I have a few ideas, but I'll have to actually finalize something. I don't have anything finalized or anything like that. I haven't even really talked to anyone about it, but I'll have different people on every time I do it, most likely. So yeah, I'll probably do that at some point. So I mean, this room, I don't know, it's okay, but you could see it did do some damage, but again, the entire castle is basically themed around the fact that if you know what's coming, it's going to be easy. It's pretty hard to make sustained damage castles at this point, but I think it's doable. I still want to try a sustained damage castle with barricades. I haven't really done one yet. Both of my past 2 castles have been just kill zones, so this could be positioned better, though. This could be, like, done better completely. Alright, I'm gonna just 2x this because there's not too much left. It's just really gonna be the boss room after this. He is taking a little bit of damage from this, but not that big of a deal. The boss room is way too kiteable with its current, like, position and stuff like that. You can see you can kite almost like half of the castle beforehand because that's just the way I had to design it. I could design it better if I had a better entry room, though. That's what I was looking for towards the end of the stream, is an entry room. I thought this one would work, but it just doesn't. It needs to be a better, like, narrow path into it, so it's harder to kite through it. And obviously these traps are pretty overkill. I don't need as many traps in the boss room as I have right now. That's only if people kite forward, and not many people do that. Alright, so let's watch a couple more wins, and then I'll go through a few losses. I'll 2x the ones that are fairly long. This one's pretty short. Looks like he dies to the first room there, that green puddle. I think that's what I'm going to call that setup. I doubt many people will use it because it's not that good. It's pretty surprising the amount of damage that it does. Like, if you take away the bear traps and all of that, it does kill you pretty quickly. It's just hard to keep someone in there a long enough time for it to actually kill you. That's what I was trying to do at first. And then I realized just having these is pretty good. It actually gets thrown too far, but I believe, does he get corrosive mine? No, he actually doesn't get corrosive mine at all. Just the ballistas and the smelly archers do the job. All right, let's see what else we have. All right, so we have one more level 30 that gets killed, and then we'll do a couple losses, and then we'll finish out the video. We'll probably have a little less content this week because I'm sick, but I'll try to do one video every other day and see if I can manage to get that many out for this week. Alright, so he kites decently. I think I remember this replay actually. He stands on the springboard trap a little bit too long. It ends up resetting before he kills them all, and then he takes a ton of damage because of the bear traps and the corrosive mines. But he does make it out, and ends up killing them all, I think. I'm pretty sure traps can't finish off creatures. I don't know if that's actually true. Maybe not. I don't think that's true, actually. I was wondering why those smelly archers didn't die, but I think they just had enough life to survive the corrosive mine ticks, because there's not a ton of damage unless you're standing inside of the puddle. I'll be interested to see, though, when I'm starting to do Vero Castles again. I'll probably start recording like a couple of those tomorrow if I'm able to. And I'll be interested to see if anyone uses corrosive mines, like in the puddle form like I have there. It'll be interesting to see. Because a lot of people were hyped about it when I found it, because it's like something new that you can do. It's not amazing, like it's not as good as fire mines, but it works. So he ends up dying to the Jimbos. Those Jimbos are pretty much the MVPs. Like the only two places that people die is the Jimbos and then that first room. Alright, so let's watch a couple replays of me losing. Let's watch the one where he uses 0 potions whatsoever. I'll 2x it because it's a fairly long replay, at least until he gets to certain areas. Like I'll slow it down for this, and then I'll speed it up until he gets to the Jimbo room. Did he actually kite them? Yeah, it looks like he did. Alright. I didn't see exactly what he did there, but I guess he must have volleyed inside of the room. It's a little too easy to volley inside of that room as well.
Just what the doctor ordered.
But there's not much that I can do and actually make it so it's a kill zone. Like, that's the only thing I can really do. Now, if he did stand in that puddle for a little bit longer, you'd see how much damage it actually does. It's pretty significant, but it's too hard to keep them standing inside of it unless you use smelly archers. Like, even if you use, what do you call them? Cyclopses, it's just not enough. It pushes them back in alright, but it doesn't keep them in long enough. So again, he kites the Jimbos properly. Like, this is how you do this castle without taking like hardly any damage whatsoever. And then I can 2x it as he's just kiting these, because it's just going to take a little bit of time for him to actually get him in a spot where he can kill them without taking damage. It's slower, you know, you'll take less damage, but it is slower. You shouldn't be able to 3-star it like this. Although the time is not very competitive, I only ran it a couple of times. He actually only pulled one of them. It's actually good that I didn't link them together, because that will happen. As you'll pull one of them and not the other that way. This one I don't even think you really need to kite it. Once you like get it aggroed, it won't work properly, I don't think. Alright, 4x until this gets kited. Alright, he gets timed out, but not that big of a deal. He's going to easily 2-star this. He's still full life. He's only got the boss room left. And we saw how bad the boss room was. So again, just kite it backwards, and everything will die pretty much easily. Alright, we'll watch like one more replay, and then finish this video out. Let's see. Do I have any knights going through this? I don't think there's any knights that actually went through this. It's kind of sad. Alright, I guess we'll do a mage. We just saw an archer get through, we'll do a mage. So like, this guy had already ran it once. I'm trying to see if someone gets through on their first try. I mean, there's an archer. Alright, so this guy right here, Rogue Radagast. So he kites it. It looks like maybe he had watched the video, or maybe he was just, you know, seeing what was at the other end. Because if he did see the video, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have just went through it afterwards. He was like testing to see if there were mobs up there that he could pull, and there are if you do it like a certain way. Like, I'm pretty sure he would be able to. I'm not sure if you can with Fireball. I don't know if it will work that way. Let's just go to 1x just to see how this all works. I wonder if he actually kites forward the entire thing, or if he just kills it. He probably just kills it right here. Maybe not. He's gonna pull the Jimbos. Because if you are smart, you would pull around every corner. Like, you would try to volley up this, or Vortex Drift, or whatever you do, every single time, like against every castle if you were smart. Because the mana is worth it, always. If you can end up pulling something, it makes it way easier. I should do that more. I used to do that a lot more often. Let me know if there's anything different about the YouTube, like, recording, like if it looks any different or if it sounds any different, because I did have to make a few changes when I was streaming, so hopefully I reverted them all properly. We should be good, but I don't know. I may have screwed something up. And also, like, in-game sounds, if they're too high, they seem a little high to me, but I might just have my headset up a little bit too high. It seems like my headset is pretty high, actually, right now. Alright, we're gonna 2x it. Until he gets to the boss room. This boss room is just way too easy to see what's going on. Like, I'm surprised he even went in here. And then that Zeke shot even missed, which is unfortunate. I mean, the double barricades do seem to do at least a little bit of something, but there's just not enough damage there, I don't think. I don't know, there's a good amount of damage, it's just the entrance, I think, is just bad, I don't know. Something about that boss room just isn't good, though. Like, it's got the necessary creatures to do well, but, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to do what it needs to. Alright. All he's got is Defendatron left. Alright. So yeah, that's the castle. That's the replays. I don't know, it did okay. It did better than I thought it was going to do, to be honest. Like, I didn't expect it to go positive, but it did. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Like I said, a little less content this week, but I'll try to get out one video every other day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.